Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Pamela if you're new here. Today's video is a pretty special video I wanted to make for you guys because you guys have been loving my last self-care routine video. You guys have been actually requesting that I make a more in-depth version of that video on how I mentally reset and the process that I take to reprogram my mind. The human mind is actually programmed from birth. There are actually things that have been passed down from generations, things that are taught in school, and by the time we get to our adult life, we realize and have the awareness now that our thoughts aren't really ours. So I really do think it's really important to reprogram your mind, to really release all of those beliefs and really step into who you truly are. So I wanted to share with you guys the process that I take to mentally reset myself and really step into who I truly am and what I believe in. When you are the best version of yourself, you're able to attract so many opportunities and so many more blessings in your life. You're able to live the life that you truly want. So I actually came up with a 5-step process that I like to take to mentally reset my mind and really align with who I truly am. But before we get into that, I really want to mention that it's super important for this to be the most effective is to definitely disconnect. So disconnecting from the world actually makes such a difference when you're really trying to reprogram your mind, because the only way that you can actually reprogram yourself is if you sit with your own emotions and your own thoughts without any distractions at all. This also means to disconnect from all social media, all technology, and all people. It can affect your emotional states. It can affect your energy as well. You really have to isolate yourself from the world and really go within. When you go through these steps, it's going to be so much more effective. And these are the things that I learned to do for myself when I started my healing journey. I actually went through a lot of trauma in my life. It kind of caught up to me and it developed so much anxiety and depression that I had to take a look at myself and really go within and figure out how to heal myself. And this is the process that I take. I'm very much aware that all of our healing journeys are very different. Some people can heal pretty fast and some people can take, years or months. So you guys can make this as simple or as extensive as you would like. It just really depends on you, your goals, and your healing journey. And just make it a habit to put yourself first in your everyday life. So the first step that I like to take in this mental reset process is definitely to mentally cleanse myself. This is so important because when we live our lives and we go through certain things and we feel like sometimes we have to put it on the back burner and suppress our thoughts and suppress our emotions, and that causes us to live on edge. It causes us to, really develop depression and anxiety because we're suppressing so much, and when it builds up, it has to come out one way or another. The main thing that I feel like really helped my healing journey was to get everything that I was suppressing outside of me. So the best way I know how to do this is to definitely start journaling. Since we're doing this process by ourselves, it's going to be kind of hard to go back and figure out how to bring solutions to our lives if we don't see it on paper. I feel like when you write down all of your thoughts and emotions on paper, not only are you allowing all of these feelings to live outside of your body, but you're also able to go back and look at the things that trigger you or the things that are bothering you and find solutions for those things. And sometimes when it's all in our head, it's sometimes clouded by so much more emotions, it's hard to think logically. But when you have it on paper and your emotions are processed, then you're able to look back and see logically what the bigger picture is. Journaling is a great way to process your emotions, know where they come from, and also to release. It's such a powerful tool. I think everyone should start journaling if you haven't already, because it's really a game changer. You can always go back and look at how far you came, and I love doing that. When I started my healing journey, that's the first thing I did, was to journal night and day. Obviously you don't have to do it like that, but it really does help to make it a habit. And at first, you guys, it's going to be very hard. I feel like when you actually deal with your emotions and you actually see what you're feeling and you allow yourself to release it, feeling those emotions really does make everything so much harder, because we want to not feel uncomfortable. We want to feel happy all the time. But in reality, the only way to process them is to actually feel those emotions and sit with them and accept them. When you release all of these emotions and they live outside of you, they're no longer able to build up and be suppressed. And that's how you're able to avoid having more anxiety built up on top of what you're already dealing with. That's a more beneficial way for you, especially because you're not depending on somebody to be there for you. You're able to process it yourself. And honestly, you guys, journaling can actually be so powerful in the sense that it can make you realize that you literally have all the answers within yourself. Whatever you need answers for, it's literally inside of us. And the only way for you to be able to see that is if you process all the emotions that are clouding those answers. And I just allow my body to keep writing, and no matter what it is, even if it doesn't make sense, I just write it all out until I get emotional, until I feel relieved. And I'll just keep writing until I have no thoughts in my head anymore. I realized that the more I did this, the last few sentences of my journal entries were always the answers to my problems, or the answers that I were looking for. So I generally think it's a powerful thing, especially if you're that aware, to see the answers after you're able to release all of that, and you just feel more guided, more protected, and you have way more faith than ever. After you write out all of your thoughts and all of your emotions, it's really good to end it off with gratitude. Gratitude is the most powerful thing that you can do, especially after you release, because it's almost impossible to be grateful and have fear at the same time. And when you are basically releasing all of your emotions and thoughts, they're usually negative things that you need to release. And you need to replace those things with positivity and good energy. Gratitude is the best way to do that, because not only are you being positive and you have hope and faith, but you're also living in this moment right now. Depression is literally just living in the past, and anxiety is just being fearful of the future. And if you're able to live in this moment right now, this is the most powerful state that you can be in, because everything is created in the present moment. And the more that you're in the present moment, the more that you're grateful for what you already have, you are able to attract so much more for your future. And that's where the future is created, is in this moment right now. So definitely practice gratitude if you haven't already. I highly suggest doing this right after you release, because now you're basically reprogramming your mind, you're shifting your mind into where you want it to be. The human mind is actually a collection of all the past memories that we accumulated over the years. So you have to be able to release all of that and switch your mind to the present moment, and to be able to attract things in the future. But the only way that you can do that is if you literally stop yourself from thinking of the past and switch your mind to the present moment. And the only way to do that is to be grateful for what you already have, to live in the energy that serves you in this moment, and to let go of anything that's already happened. Because the more you focus on what has already happened, replaying things in your head, having regret, living in shame, living in guilt, you are manifesting those things to happen in your future. And the only way you can manifest that is if you're thinking about the past in the present moment. I actually used to write down like 3 things a day, and now I'm writing out like pages of things every single day, because it really helps me to stay in that energy for longer. And I feel like when you can stay in that energy for way longer, you're able to really feel the emotion of already having certain things, and really knowing that you are truly grateful for the life that you live right now. So I genuinely think that this is a great tool. This is something that you shouldn't skip, and it's only going to transform your life. So for step number 2 is definitely to start meditating. So meditation is actually a very, very powerful tool to keep yourself in this present moment. And I just think that the more that we're able to live in the present moment, it actually programs us to really, really release almost everything that we ever been through. So that is the whole goal for this. In reprogramming your mind, you're basically just releasing all of the past and all of the things that you thought were true about yourself and the things that don't really align with who you truly are and what you believe right now. So meditation is so powerful, you guys. I used to be so scared of meditating because when I first meditated, I was actually in my last relationship with my son's father, and we were going through a lot, and I just felt like I hit rock bottom. And that was the first time I ever meditated. I meditated so deeply because I was going through so much. I wanted just to let go of everything. And that was the first time I meditated, and I actually ended up hypnotizing myself, which scared me so much, but I realized how powerful our minds are. So I don't want to scare you guys into not meditating or anything like that. I just want you guys to realize how much power we have within ourselves. So I started meditating almost every single day, day and night, when I was starting my healing journey. Now I do it every other day, but it's really just been helping me to rebalance my energy and really focus on what really matters. So when I first started meditating, I didn't really think I knew how to do it, and I truly do think it's different for everyone. But I just want to share with you guys my experiences with it. I always thought that meditation just meant laying there and breathing. I really didn't have an intention for it. I really just did it just to feel like more calm, and I just heard that it helps. So I never really got the full benefits from meditating until last year, when I started really taking it seriously, and I actually was researching on how to do it right. Not that there is a right or wrong way to meditate, but I definitely do think there's ways to make it more beneficial and more intense for you so that you can actually feel the benefits on an everyday basis. It's really helped me to heal some really hard things in my life, and now I'm able to have peace with them and have peace with myself, and I feel like everyone deserves to have peace. It really does help to have a guided meditation when you're first starting out, and not only are you paying attention to your breath, but the way you breathe definitely makes a difference. So I never really had a way of breathing when I first started out, but now I realize if you breathe in and you intentionally visualize the breath coming in from the bottom of your body all the way up, and you breathe in so slow, and not only that, but you're breathing in positivity, you're breathing in love, and you have to picture these things and really feel it in your body, really feel the happiness when you breathe it in. And then when you hold it at the top for a second and you release, you really want to release slower than the way you breathed in. So say if you breathe in for 5 seconds, you definitely want to breathe out for 7. And when you release and breathe out, you definitely want to imagine yourself releasing fear, releasing anxiety, but you have to feel it in your body. Feel those things coming out. Really visualize all of these bad, dark memories or thoughts or emotions, and actually picture it leaving your body. And that's like the best way I can describe this on how I really transform the way I meditate. And not only that, the more intentional you are with the way that you breathe, the more you are in the present moment. And that is the key to all of this. Obviously, when you meditate, you are going to have thoughts still come up, but you're able to control yourself in a way where you don't feed into those thoughts. Because honestly, thoughts are natural. They're supposed to come to our minds, but we can choose which ones we want to entertain. And I definitely do think that when you are so in control of your breath and so in control in the present moment, you don't feed into the negative thoughts anymore, and you allow them to pass, you allow them to be accepted without judgment. And that is the best way to release a lot of these emotions and thoughts is to accept them for what they are, but don't allow them to live in you. So I also like to enhance the way I meditate through playing frequencies, and frequencies are just sounds that are basically a higher vibration. And since we are a vibration, we radiate vibrations. This is a really beneficial way to release things and to attract things to you and have more of an intention of why you're meditating. So I like to play different frequencies depending on why I'm meditating or what I'm manifesting. And usually I'll type in YouTube and put in manifestation frequencies if I'm trying to manifest, or I'll put in release fears frequency if I want to release. And it really enhanced the way that I meditate. I really do feel like sounds and vibrations really do release everything from the body. And sometimes we're so in our heads, it's hard to allow our bodies to relax. So the frequencies really help get that overall balance in your energy. So I really recommend that if you haven't done that already. So now that we cleanse our mental space and we actually reset our energy, it's time to fill that space with positivity and things that we want in our lives. So the best way I found to do this is to actually fuel your mind with love. So love is the highest frequency, highest vibration out there. I just genuinely think that when you replace all of these negative vibrational energies and emotions and thoughts with love, then almost everything that you want out of life will just be so attracted to you because your energy is the highest frequency out there. So how I like to do this is usually through manifestations. This can be anywhere from scripting. I also like meditating for manifestation. So it's the same steps to take. It's just instead of having a guided meditation, you'll have a meditation on what you want in your life as if it's happening right now, but you have to actually see yourself, visualize yourself, and be very specific. So the best way to do this is to definitely set the space and in your mind tell yourself what day this is, what time of day this is, where you're at, see and feel and smell the air. It's literally every single detail that you're able to come up with in your head, as far as, you know, having a dream car or having a dream home or being financially stable, whatever that looks like to you. Create a scenario in your head where it actually feels real for you. Like you can actually touch it, you can feel it, you can smell it. You want to live in that space as long as you can. So when it comes down to our emotions are actually the most powerful source of energy that we have to be able to manifest. So if you think of emotions, energy in motion, you're able to attract everything that you want in life even more powerfully because you're putting that intention out there to the universe. And the best way to do that is when you're visualizing all these things, literally just feel it. Feel how you would feel if you had this right now, and tell yourself that you have this right now, and actually feel it in your body and feel it as long as you can. And sometimes I would do this so long to where I would actually cry because I was so happy, I was so ecstatic, and I was actually in that moment and I actually felt it so much to where I got emotional about it. And that is the best thing ever, when you can actually feel that it's so intensely, you already know it's on the way to you. So another way I like to fuel my mind with love is through affirmations. I usually do this by writing them down on how I feel about myself, or I'll watch YouTube videos on the way to dropping my son off at school, or if I'm just in the car for a long period of time, I'll play some affirmations for what I want in my life. But the key to this is not only to listen to it, but to visualize yourself having that emotion or having that affirmation. So this is the same thing. Basically, allowing your body to feel the emotion along with the thought, that's what's gonna make it so much more powerful. I see a lot of people make a mistake of listening to affirmations in the background, but not really feeling it in their body. They're actually feeling anxiety in their body, or feeling fear in their body, or feeling self-doubt. And it's going to be way harder for you to actually believe these affirmations if you don't actually feel it. So definitely work on your body's awareness and your emotional awareness, and really, really listen to your body and feel it, and try to manifest it in your body before it gets to your head, if that makes sense. So I generally think that this is so important as far as understanding your emotions, because then you're able to control your emotional state in your body. And so by doing this, you're able to listen to your intuition way more easily, because you're practicing your emotional awareness and the way that your body feels when you feel certain emotions. When your body is telling you what step to take or what direction to go, it's literally coming from your gut. It's coming from your intuition, just a knowing deep down. And the only way that you can really be guided by that is if you listen to the intuition first and let it plant a seed in your mind, instead of doing it the other way around, where you plant the seed in your mind and it's so hard to align your body to your mind, because then your mind starts overthinking, having self-doubt, self-sabotage, and all of these other things. So after we cleansed our mental space, we actually released a lot of the negativity in the past, and now we're fueling our mind with love. The next step is definitely to fill your mind with forward momentum. So this is really going to help you to put things into action, because obviously when we manifest, or when we want to be the best versions of ourselves, we can't just think it. We have to actually do those things and become those things and really make the changes. So I really do think that when you start to fuel your momentum and put things into action, you really, really live in your power, and you're really able to be the best version of you. So the best way for me that I learned how to do this is to definitely just fuel my subconscious with forward thinking, instead of going back to past situations that I feel like I didn't deserve, or feeling like I regretted a lot of the decisions I made in my life. Instead of going back to that space, which is only going to repeat if you go back there, you have to replace everything that you released with forward thinking. So I don't want you guys to get this mixed up with anxiety, because anxiety is usually the fear of the future. So we don't want to go to that space. We don't want to try to control the future. We want to be in the present moment, but take the steps we need to take right now to have a better future. So I really found what really helped me is to definitely listen to inspirational videos. I'll literally put it on YouTube in the car, especially on days when I need the extra push to go to the gym, or if I just need to find some inspiration to be more creative. I play videos that actually speak a lot of motivation, and I'll let it just play one after another until I get to my next destination. And it really fuels my mind. It really helps me, because when I'm driving in the car, I feel like that's when I think about a lot of things, and I start to have the most anxiety in the car, because I'm just on autopilot and I'm just letting my mind race. But when I have motivational videos playing in the background, it really does help me to focus on what I need to be doing, coming up with plans on how to be more creative, and really aligning with myself on who my higher self is. I really feel like I came to that conclusion on exactly who I am as the best version of me when I started to listen to these type of videos on an everyday basis. And then I realized, like, this is what she looks like, this is what she does, this is how she carries herself, these are her values, and now I know exactly who I am. It really does help to also start reading self-help books if you aren't already. I definitely do think self-help books really help you align with certain areas of your life that you know that you can improve, and reading is just a a powerful thing in its own, but you have to apply those things as well. Don't just read it and let the information flow through you. You actually have to put it into action. And for me, I used to go to Barnes & Noble all the time, get so many books, just read through them, and I had the knowledge, but I really just had the same routine every single day, so I never really had opportunities to apply it. But when I switched my mind from this everyday version of me who was created in the past, I realized like I have to really let that go and figure out how I can become like who I'm meant to become in this moment. And the only way to do that is to really put everything that I ever learned into action. Like the quote that I love is, applied knowledge is power. So definitely put things into action. Even if it's little things that you can do on a daily basis, definitely work towards something instead of just letting the information just flow in one ear and out the other. Another way to really get that forward momentum going is to definitely set an intention. And doing this, you can actually make vision boards or start scripting and manifest that way. And I really do think that vision boards are amazing. Everything on my vision boards always came true, and I think it's because I can actually visualize it happening. And I got really creative with my vision boards now, and I spend a lot of time putting all the effort I can into them and being creative, first of all. And I'm actually sitting in that energy for a long period of time. I'm really being able to visualize myself even more and being excited having these things that it just comes to me so naturally. So I highly suggest definitely doing a vision board. And if you don't have time or if you can't do it right now, starting off by scripting really does help. Just write down the things that you want for your life as if they were happening right now and how you feel about it, and just the way that we manifested before, but doing it on paper really does help because you're able to see your goals, you're able to reread it if you ever feel like you're doubting yourself. Like honestly, that's a way to have like all of your ideas on paper as well. So I feel like it just helps so much. And for the last step of this process is to feed your feminine energy. So feminine energy is actually where we are most creative. So no matter if you're male or female, we all have feminine and masculine energy, and where you can actually attract so much to you by being creative and doing the things that you love and having self-love. I'm actually a very hyper independent woman. I really love to do things on my own. I really take initiative to get things done on my own, but I realized that I lived in my masculine energy for so many years to the point where I feel like I didn't really want to depend on anyone in life, which is not a healthy thing either. So this past year, I really learned about my feminine energy and what it means to me and how to actually sit in that energy even more now. Don't get me wrong, I've always been super feminine my whole life, but my mentality was masculine, if that made sense. So I know how to really tap into my feminine energy and really have that balance. Since it was really hard for me to identify what feminine energy was for me, I actually had to write down on paper exactly the things that I like and the things that fuel me and make me feel good and the ways that I like to love myself. So I actually have a whole list. I actually have it in here too. My daily routine, my weekly self-love routine. Honestly, when I'm feeling off, I'm feeling low about myself, I actually love to have a list of things that's already written out for me to pick from if I'm ever feeling like that, or my emotions are everywhere. I don't know how to control them. I feel like it's hard for me to think of certain things to do. When I have it all listed out, I can actually pick out which ones will help me fill my own cup back up. And I really do think this is a great tip, especially if you want to love yourself more, but you don't really know how, because it really helps me to put myself first on a daily basis. So I highly recommend this tip. So basically, feeding your feminine energy is just about doing all the things that make you feel good. So definitely step more into that if you can. And Yes, but this is it for my mental reset process. This is more of how I try to reprogram my mind mentally. I really do think it's important to set the space and get your environment ready for this process to help you relax and help you center yourself and feel grounded. So I really do think it helps to cleanse your space and really do the things that you love to do before you step into all of these things. So for me, it's just my nighttime routine. Honestly, I really like to just take the time out to take my time and give back to myself and really align my energy. And the best way I know how to do that is if I feel good in my own skin, if I do my self-care routine and have my own shower routine and have a process for all of this. And then when I actually start my mental reset steps, it's way easier for me to actually feel all the benefits and really feel like I'm truly loving myself and I'm able to put my best foot forward the next day. So I tend to do this process at night because I generally do think that if you're reprogramming your mind at night and then you go to bed, then your mind is only going to develop great thoughts in the morning and you're able to have a great day the next day, and it just rolls over to your whole week. So I hope this helps you guys. I actually have a deeper version of this process, but for healing trauma, and a whole bunch of other tips that I've learned along the way to heal from trauma, from depression and anxiety. So if you guys want to see that video, comment down below and let me know and I can create that video for you guys. But this is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I just genuinely felt like I never shared anything like this on my channel. So I really just hope it helps somebody out there. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you did, and make sure you guys subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I love you guys so much. Bye.